Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 7. So of course, a few days ago we learned about the release dates or premiere dates, whatever you want to call it, for the various DC TV shows on the CW or, just the Arrowverse shows that would be starting in the early parts of 2021. And with The Flash in particular, we found out it would be starting on February 23rd and Season 7 would be consisting of, at this moment at least, 18 episodes. As I said in my video going over that, there is still the option or possibility for an increase in that episode count. But, based off scheduling and also the need to allow a good enough time, rest time for the actors before next season, 18 episodes is probably what we'll end up with. But anyway, while there is a wait for a few more months for the premiere of The Flash Season 7, they are still filming because they got to get episodes done, and that's what this episode, or this video might I say, will be focused on. But of course, throughout the video, I'm curious to hear what you guys think of this, because I'm sure there could be some various theories that sprout from this, so let me know your various thoughts, theories, just opinions in the comment section down below about what we go over. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like, especially during this time. Takes 2 seconds, would appreciate it heaps. So The Flash has been filming Season 7 for about a month now, but of course, as I'm sure most of us should know, Season 6 never got to finish filming. The last episode that we actually saw on air was episode 19. So the first few episodes of Season 7 will be wrapping up whatever that story was meant to be for the end of Season 6 with a few changes here and there. Now, with those changes, just based off either, logistics, such as an actor now not being available for these early episodes of Season 7, or just writing changes here and there as they may want to add some seeds or plant some seeds for events later in the season or just in the episodes to follow. And the set-related stuff we will be going over in this video seems to be from episode 3 of Season 7, which should be the quote-unquote finale of the story that was meant to be the end of Season 6. Now, as per usual, the photos and information within this video is coming from Canada Graphs, so the link to the blog where all this is attained from will be linked in the description down below. And just as a little bit of a teaser, if you want to call it, for something else to come, there is more to come in regards to The Flash and just stuff from set, but it hasn't been posted online yet, so that should be out in the next day or two after this video goes up, something like that, so look out for that. Trust me when I say this though, it's interesting and I'm curious to see what they're doing. So the first bunch of scenes that were filmed on set for this episode consisted of Grant Gustin as Barry Allen, aka The Flash, and Ephrat Dorr as Eva McCulloch, aka Mirror Master. Now, unfortunately, there was very little of these scenes that could actually be seen for the most part, or just for the most of the night due to obstructions and just a lack of good filming angles. But at one point, part of a scene was visible where Eva seemed to be looking in one direction, then they had Grant Gustin move to the other side of her and turn around and look in that direction, with this indicating that the Flash was using his super speed, and which is the Flash does, to run to the other side of her and go, hey, I'm over here now. Now, we do have some set photos here, obviously, because that's the best way to go about it, which show us, what's going on necessarily, and also give us an indication as to where we are, if that makes sense, which will make sense when I show you this first photo. So this first one is of Central City. You might be like, okay, well, we know we're in Central City, Pagey, mate. You're an idiot. We're watching The Flash. Where would it be? Central, Star City? Of course we're in Central City. You're an idiot. But the important thing to note from this is that we had previous set photos for this season, which took place in the Mirror World. And you might be wondering, could this be in the Mirror World? Well, no, because this map here of Central City is not, mirrored. It's normal. So that means we're in the normal Central City. So the Flash is taking on Mirror Master in the normal Central City. We're not in the Mirror World here. Which indicates the Mirror World won't really be a big part of the finale by the looks of it, especially with the other set of set photos we'll go over in a couple of minutes. So here we can see the Flash just on some stairs. I'm assuming Eva is obviously in front of him right here, at the bottom of the stairs. I'm always curious to see how they're going to do the fight scenes necessarily with these two, because there's got to be a bit of, believability at the fact that Eva wouldn't be able to 100% know where the Flash is going at all times and, would struggle to battle him. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do their fight scenes here. I'm sure the Flash would have an advantage with certain things, but also if they're in an area with a lot of reflective surfaces, then Eva gets the upper hand. But around here, it doesn't look like there's many reflective surfaces, so technically Flash should have the upper hand. But we can see him at the top of these stairs. As I've said before in the previous set photos, Grant's been working out in the off-season. during this big COVID break has been much longer than usual. So he's gotten a bit more swole, let's say. Like, he fits the Flash suit much better than he did last season. So you can even see that a bit here. But yeah, the last set photo is Mirror Master. And this looks like it's the bit after, it seems that Barry's run behind her, if that makes sense. So that's what it looks like here. Once again, you can see people behind her wearing the masks and stuff like that. That's going to be a constant throughout the filming for this season by the sounds of it. But yeah, that first group of set photos wasn't overly interesting. It just gives you a good hint. It is the next set and next bunch of information, which makes you go, okay, what's happening here? So let's jump into it. But yeah, on to the next few scenes that were filmed, and they were filmed the day after from those first ones, I'm pretty sure. And these involved Grant Gustin and Efrat Dor, on set again as both the Flash and Mirror Master. They didn't change characters, so don't get scared that they're the same character. And this time they were joined with Candice Patton as Iris West. Now, the interesting thing is that joining these three characters appeared to be multiple people dressed in the same attire as Mirror Master, which indicates that they themselves are mirror clones of Mirror Master. Now, the big question around them is whether they are evil, and maybe Eva has turned and become good, and maybe they're trying to get back at her or something like that. That's probably the more unlikely option. And the more likely one is that Eva is still the villain in this situation, and she has got clones on her side now to help her out. And yeah, it's very reminiscent, in my opinion, of the DeVoe stuff from the end of season 4. If anyone remembers that, like, he made all those clones and stuff because it was in his head, and it was Ralph and Barry, R.I.P. Ralph, I guess. Anyone getting that same type of feel? Now, with Iris being there as well in the same place as both the Flash and Eva, this does confirm that by this episode, Iris has finally escaped the Mirrorverse, even though, due to the lack of set photos before this, or that we've had before this, she could have gotten out like the episode beforehand. We don't know. Obviously, we did have other set photos which showed Iris along with Camilla inside the mirror world, and they were still there, obviously, but it seemed that they were, I'd say maybe very close, you could say, or at least a decent way to the end in regards to getting out of the mirror world, or at least making contact with the outside and the others in the normal world, so they would be able to help, help get them out and stuff. So it's like, hey, Cisco, we're in here, and Cisco's like, oh, I know how to get you out. It will take me 10 minutes to make a invention to get you out. Why didn't you contact me earlier? So that could happen. Now, with this scene with the Flash, Eva, and Iris, it was a very long and dialogue-heavy scene that was filmed, which indicates it's a pretty big moment. Now, Eva does stand facing away from camera for quite a while in this scene, before eventually turning around, looking around with a very serious and solemn look. Following this, she then raises her arms, and Iris comes and joins her. It's like, hey, Iris, come join the pack. Now, this is pretty interesting. So Iris grabs her hand and then looks at Eva with like a look of assurance, like, yep, we've done the job. And a bit later, after a little more of the scene has unfolded, the Flash himself then reaches out towards Eva and joins her. Now, this is a bit confusing because it makes you think like, okay, like, has Eva turned to help the heroes in this situation? Or is she still on the villainous side of things? And this is maybe, at the very least, the Flash, but maybe also Iris, tricking Eva into believing that they are on her side too. Maybe there's an event that happens, or like a plan that takes place, or Eva just does something that is supposed to change up the Flash in particular and make him go on her side, or create a mirror version that's meant to be along her thinking or something like that. It'll be interesting to see how all of it plays out, because at this stage, it's a very, it's a brain buster, if you want to call it. But yeah, jumping into these set photos. So the first one is us just seeing Candice, Candice as Iris along with Mirror Master. But if you look to the left, there's also you can see the bottom of this woman over here. And she's got the same attire on, like another Mirror Master costume on as well. And which is indicated more when we actually go to the next photo here, which once again, you can see Candice and Efrat Dor there as Mirror Master. But behind her, once again, you can see another actress, or it might be the same one, but then again there's someone on the right here which could also be another Mirror Master. So there's more than just one duplicate Mirror Master. I'd assume that they probably do like 3 or 4 maybe, and then just do CGI to fill in the rest, but there is multiple Mirror Masters or Mirror Mistresses here for this scene, which is I don't know, as I said, it's very reminiscent of the DeVoe stuff from the end of season 4, but I'm sure it'll be done in a different way. Maybe it's just to reflect herself of certain things. I'm not too sure exactly what it is, but it'll be interesting to see what it is. Once again, this is a better look. We can actually see the full suit, both of them standing next to each other, just in case anyone was still doubting that there's multiple. So here's another one. And the last one is Barry with Mirror Master here. But this is like when she's like turning away and then she sort of turns by the looks of it. So I'm not sure if this is Barry speaking at this point, but there's a lot going on here which makes you think it's the finale. Now, there is obviously the possibility that they might go to episode 4. They might go to episode 4 where Mirror Master's still there. Who knows? Mirror Master might not even leave the show. They might keep her on the show in some way, shape, or form. Who knows what exactly they're going to do. But they're going to have to wrap up her story fairly soon in regards to her being the main threat or the main just antagonist before moving on to someone else. But she could remain a figure on the show in some way, shape, or form, especially during this COVID time. You know, I guess she's already under quarantine, so maybe she's willing to stay. I don't know. I think it's probably better if she leaves, but then again, we don't know what the story is early season 7 that was meant to be the end of season 6 and how it bleeds into what the normal season 7 was meant to be. So it'll be interesting. But overall, you know, these set photos, they're not overly exciting. Like usually set photos, the only real ones that are like overly exciting are obviously the ones where you get like Godspeed's back, Zoom's back, or something like that. Like usually when like a returning character's back, but at least it gives us an idea as to what they're doing and where they're wrapping up certain things in season 7 before we move on to what we were meant to get in the normal season 7 before COVID. But yeah, I am curious to see where they just end the Mirror Master thing, because obviously she killed Joseph Carver at the end of last season, or in what was meant to be episode 19 of season 6. So what's her next plan? That's the big question. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on what we went over, any theories you have coming from this. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.